This little lag always kind of cracks me up. Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. I am coming at you live from K's store, K Krafts in Moorhead, Minnesota. And we are going to do some Minnesota Christmas cards. So, is anybody here? Oh, I see one eyeball. Who is it? Because I didn't bring my iPad, so I can't see what you're saying until it's kind of going a little ways. So, as you know, my sister and I are traveling across the USA to see our parents. So we're stopping here and then in Wisconsin tomorrow. 3 eyes. Oh, I can't see who's here. Let's see. Anyway, well, you'll just have to, this is just like when I'm talking at my kitchen table. We'll just chat and, you know, make stuff.
I can tell you a couple people in here that are my customers. This is Melissa and Jackie.
Hey, Melissa and Jackie, how are you? Do you have the Minnesota collage art stamp set? I'm the one who drew them. Kay and I worked for months on them, long distance, and now we became friends. So that works out well, doesn't it?
And do you know Kathy Upchurch?
Yes, I do. Hey, Kathy Upchurch, how are you? She's a Arizona girl, and she is she's a stitcher too. She and I bonded on that. So this is the stamp set.
Jackie's asking for North Dakota, and guess what we're going to be doing?
Yep. I will tell you, I've just been sketching in the my sister drives and I sketch. We kind of worked out that that plan last year when we did this trip. We're staying in the same exact hotel. We took the same little routine here this morning. So let's get started. I have so many cute things to show you that I just think you'll be able to just fiddle around with. These are quick cards. So this is the first card that we're going to make today. And it is made with Distress Ink Minis. Super easy, but super fun. So, what I did was I just stamped. It's kind of funny. Do you see how it looks here? And then it's going to dry like this. Kind of weird, but fun. So, is anybody making their Christmas cards yet? This is so funny because, can I tell you, all the years that I've been an artist, I hardly ever make my own Christmas cards. I always think that I will, but the reality is it just doesn't happen. Let's see. So I just stamp across, right? And then, so I left off with green, so I'm going to use red over here. Is everybody kind of getting my pattern that I'm, and just think, I mean, you wouldn't have to do this for Christmas. You could do this with any Distress Ink minis, right? You could make any pattern of, Tessa and I did this together one day, and she did all like shades of blue. It was so pretty, like very, very oceany. So it would be good for lakes or those kinds of things.
Well, Barb mentioned that she was born in Fargo, North Dakota.
Get out! Well, Teresa and I just drove across the river last night. And we always think that it'll be this big thing. And then I'm like, oh, we're over it right now. Yesterday was our longest day traveling. It was 8 hours. So today, not as much. But it was nice to sleep in a nice, travel was kind of weird. I was just telling Kay this morning, like the plane ride was weird because there weren't very many people. And luckily, I didn't have anybody in my row on the first flight, and the second flight there was somebody in like Somebody was by the window and I was in the aisle, so it worked out well. But I told Kay, you know, I'm usually a pretty easygoing flyer. I was just kind of really like so much more aware of my surroundings and the other people. Like, were they wearing their masks? Were they wiping everything down? I know that everything's wiped down, but you know I had handy wipes in my purse, so I wiped everything down too. They do give it, you don't get a meal or anything, but you do get a Ziploc bag, and in that Ziploc bag there was a little bottle of water, the tiniest bag of Cheez-Its, I swear to God. Like, I think there were 7 Cheez-Its in there. A tiny bag of Cheez-Its and like those Delta cookies. Come on, those are so delicious. Those Biscoff cookies, I love those.
I love those too.
It's a bad scene. Anyway, and a little tiny piece, like a little tiny container that you snap in half, and it had hand sanitizer in it. That was what was in the Ziploc.
Connie says she loves the ink cube technique.
Is it Connie Aiello?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Connie Aiello, how are you? She's a Wisconsin girl. Racine.
Racine, huh?
Yep, she and I have been pals for quite a time, haven't we, Connie? Okay, so I did this whole card front. So I mean, just think you could so like mass produce this, right? It would be easy peasy. So once I did it, I didn't bring it, of course. I don't think, my die. But what I did was my friend Lucinda taught me to be a little more, include more things in my my card making, because I don't like a lot of futs on my cards, and so I like a clean card. But she did teach me to love die cutting. So I used, I believe it's My Favorite Things, stitched rectangle die, and that just like really lent itself to this card. And then for the Minnesota, you know what, well, just a sec. I'm going to use this plastic bag for my, what do you call it? Okay, can you give me some water?
Sure can.
Please, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Just look at just a cup of water.
Okay.
Okay, so I just, I'm going to use my Ziploc bag, because, you know, I am nothing but class. Come on, girls. So I'm just going to use my Ziploc bag as my craft mat, and I'm going to just put squish some ink on there. Kay's getting me some water, and then we're just going to paint this Minnesota, and then mount it with some pop dots, cut it out, and then mount it with some pop dots onto the base, right? I just feel like that's, it's just kind of a country Christmas kind of look, don't you think? Like it's kind of almost like a flannel shirt, or I don't know. So do you see, like, this is such an easy, card to create. I mean, all you need is 2 little mini distress inks and some cardstock.
Somebody said they bought the 12 new states from Adorn It yesterday. Vanessa did.
Yay!
She said thank you for doing Georgia.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, so I drew the state embroidery patterns for Adorn It. Minnesota's already done. Wisconsin's already done. I just did. So that's so funny, because when Georgiana went on live yesterday, I was drawing North Dakota in the car, and that's so funny because Kay and I were just talking about creating North Dakota stamps. So I have some of my artwork done. And I was doing South Dakota and Delaware. So if anybody has like some like a something about their state that nobody else would know except people who live there. That's what I like to include in all of my artwork, in my stamps and my embroidery. Like Kay and I, oh my gosh, we had so much fun coming up with La Ufta and Hot Dish and things that are going to be meaningful to the people who live there, because I'm all about celebrating your own locale, you know? Skål. Okay, so there we go. So seriously, how simple was that? I like it just kind of pretty rustic and kind of faded, you know. So I'm going to set this aside because this is this card, so we can move on to the next. So then I just cut this out and popped it up on the cover of this, right? And then I put it on a black card base because I felt like that just gave that little bit of black. Like all good art should have a little bit of black and a little bit of white. So you see there's a little bit of white here, there's black here, and there's black here. And that makes all the other colors pop. All right, now we will move on to something else. What are we gonna move on to?
I don't know, but I want your handbag.
It's so cute, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So my purse is from a company called Spartina. Spartina for something. You know what? I'll find out. Spartina 449. Okay. And they have, it's so cute. Look it. I'm a Michigan girl, so look, you can see. Whoa. There, do you see? It says Great Lakes, and it has all the different, all the surrounding Great Lake places, right? So there's Michigan. And so be sure to check them out because they have like all kinds of destination bags. Cool. Isn't it? I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to paint with zigs. So
those are my favorites.
Mine too, because it's like watercoloring in a contained way, right? Okay, so I took the same stamp and I stamped it on watercolor paper. So this is Northwoods watercolor paper, which I love because still has the same properties as thicker watercolor paper, but it's thin, so it's good for card making. So this is
Northwoods?
Northwoods, yeah. And I think they're out of Wisconsin.
Yes, they are. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to take my light blue. I'm doing this with two colors. That's it. Light blue and cobalt blue. So I like to just take my brush and just kind of scribble in the center because and this is working because I'm painting, so to speak, on
Vanessa wants to know where she can buy these stamps.
Well, these stamps are available at K Krafts.
And we will mail.
They do mail, and their store. I can't wait. I'm going to give you a little tour of the store later. I'll do another Facebook Live of a tour of their store. Wait, oh my gosh! So you know what is here, Stamper girls? I noticed that Kay has a whole section of slimline stuff that I'll show everybody. And I've already started my stack. I got the Tailored Expressions. They have that new size of slimline. You know, huh?
It's a 3/4 of a long.
Yeah, it's super cute. So I got some of those dies. So we will, we'll be making something with those.
Naomi said, I bought these stamps when they came out, had to have them, and today will be their first time out of the package. Oh, girl!
Right. Well, then you are a member of the tribe. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Nancy said they're called mini slims.
Yeah, they're so cute. I can hardly wait to play with them. And then, what else did I told you, I think I have told people before, Kay is known for her wall of stencils. So I can hardly wait to share all those stencils with everybody. And she has the Alta New watercolor brush paint things. Okay, so so I spread that first color down, right? And I'm just gonna let it sit kind of for a bit. And then I'm gonna come in with that darker cobalt blue. And I'm just gonna go around the edge. And do you see how, because it's wet, it's already just kind of starting to bleed a little bit? Because that's what we're gonna, I'll get a smaller brush. That's what our goal is, to just kind of have this bleed into the lighter blue, right? And remember, just like in all my classes, we're just gonna pull that color out. And because we're working on watercolor paper, we have, it buys us a little wiggle room. We have a little time. If you're working on regular cardstock, it's not gonna be as much. But remember, you're just gonna use what you've got. If you stamp on regular cardstock, then you just have to learn your products, right? Learn your, whatever materials you have, whatever mediums you have. Isn't that beautiful? I thought this was so perfect I put snowflakes on it, but I thought it was, I mean, you could totally make this into a, you know, the land of a few lakes.
Yeah, few thousand.
Exactly. And I mean, the beauty of these zigs is that you can layer and layer and layer color, right? So you can if you're feeling like this isn't a deep enough blue, you can go back with a little bit more. I don't think I can see your comments. I'm so sorry. But Kay will be back. You know, she does have a store to run, so I guess we'll let her get away with that, right? So, holy smokes, Arizona girls. It is so brisk here this morning. It was weird because when I left Arizona, it was 102. And today it was 42 this morning when my sister was driving me over here. Crazy. Okay, so do you see that I overshot just a little bit with my watercolor? Because we're on watercolor paper, if we wet our brush and we pat off the excess water, we can remove that by just kind of doing that little bit of swirly back and forth with our brush, and we can just pat it off and it should be gone. There we go. Then I just like to tap it off with a paper towel, because that'll stop the bleed of color. Okay, so we're taking this blue and we're just working it out, right? Just work it out toward the center of the state. I'm so glad, I'm so happy that you bought my state's embroidery. Vanessa, I love that we have so many connections, right? I love that. Connie, how is Nico? Cute as always, I am sure. Am I still in the shot? Sorry about that, you guys. It's a little bit different this morning because I should, you know what? It's so dumb because my iPad is in my other bag. I could have brought it, but oh well. So if you are new to me, you can follow me here at Corbiere-Scott Designs, and I will share all kinds of artsy fun. Kay and I just became fast friends when we worked on creating this stamp set. And now, you know, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Like you just know when you meet somebody. And her husband is just as nice as she is. I was just talking to my sister about, we were born and raised in Michigan, and we were just talking about how you can just tell those Midwest people, there really is something about being Midwest nice, isn't there? My husband says, not everybody's like you, because I don't understand why people aren't nice.
Minnesota nice.
Yep, exactly. I think that might be on one of these stamp sets. Whole lot of nice.
Vanessa said K and Girls stamps, and it's K and Crafts.
K and Krafts.
And somebody said the zigs are totally, Nancy said the zigs are totally awesome. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are, because I feel like it's like a controlled watercolor.
And they have so many colors.
Absolutely. And you know, isn't that crazy? I totally have my favorites. You know, olive green. I love me some olive green. I do. You go right ahead. There's a tag right there. Spartina449. They're on Instagram. Oh, I'm sure you could go online. This bag, I need a big bag. My sister has a bag that I swear, I think you can put like a pack of gum in.
How do you survive?
I know. I need a big bag because, you know, I have to carry like my normal stuff and art supplies and whatever else strikes my fancy.
Actually, I was surprised that that's all you came in with. I was amazed.
I know. I was pretty proud of myself this morning. I was. So now, okay, I need some wet glue. Sorry.
What do you need?
Wet glue to stick down. Okay, so this stamp or this card I used. So do you see how easy that came together? I just love it. And I kind of love that I have some ripples here. Do you see them? Where's my camera? Is it on that under this? There, I have some ripples of watercolor, right? So I kind of dig that because it looks kind of like ripply, like water. So I think I'm going to keep that there. And then I have a pink mat that I'm going to put it on because I just think turquoise and pink are such cool colors together. So I'm going to leave that the way it is. Perfect. So now I have these little snowflakes from High Supply that I'm going to just kind of glue all over. But I also have a little tiny, so I have a strip of the pink and a strip of Merry Christmas from, and that's from the Minnesota Greetings from Minnesota stamp set. That's, I'm sure it's going to be reordered.
It is.
Sometime soon. You know, we are in the middle of a pandemic, for crying out loud. Right? All right, so there's the Merry Christmas from, and then I'm going to mount it on here, and then cut a notch. Did I show you how I did that? Let me see. Where's my score tape? I just had it. Anybody see it? Oh, here we go. Anyone see it? It's just me and Kay back here, but whatever. I'm acting like there's a whole crowd back here, but it's not.
Our 4 eyes saw it.
Well, exactly. Well, our 8.
8, yeah.
All right. So I just so I cut a strip, a sentiment strip, which is a fancy way for. I just cut like little 1/2-inch strips of white cardstock, and then I stamp on it. And then I just kind of eyeball it because that's how I do. Kay probably doesn't, but
No, I eyeball too.
Okay, so now at the end, I'm going to kind of cut the end, right? So it's kind of equal distance. And then I'm just going to cut up the center and go from the corner to there. And then the corner to there.
Okay, I just learned something.
What?
I've always cut from the corners up, and how much more simpler and you get it centered.
Yeah, I mean,
All these years.
It's never going to be perfect because these are handmade cards, for crying out loud. This isn't Hallmark. This is K Krafts, for crying out loud. Right? So, okay, so now I'm going to I kind of like those banners that just kind of hang from the side. And remember, we're going to try and create a nice visual triangle. So we're going to hang this here. So then so you see we have this beautiful visual triangle. We're going to mount this piece onto the pink mat first before we put our snowflakes on. Because I don't know if you knew it or not, but this is the Great White North in just a few short months. It is, it is, it is. Connie, are you coming to Arizona anytime soon? We have to have our annual get-together.
Nancy said, thanks for cutting the tip of the end of the flag.
Oh.
She said, I never did that.
Super cool. Is it Nancy E? Is it an...
Yes, it was Nancy E.
All right. So now I just kind of randomly... I just randomly put some snowflakes down. And I wanted to use all three colors. I like the white on white. I feel like that just kind of, you know, adds a little something, something. I don't think there was a card base in there, so we're just going to put it on a black card base. Because, you know, we just like to wing it like that. All right, so now let's see. I'm just going to put some dots of glue. How am I doing on time, Kay?
It is 10:25.
Oh, we're doing fine. It is weird. You know, Keely, my friend, she's usually my timekeeper because I don't know if you picked up on this, but I kind of like to yak. And so, you know, I need somebody to say, all right, wrap it up, Anne. Ooh, that was a lot. There we go. And now we're just going to...
You needed tweezers.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll just use my fingers. Oh, you know what I was going to tell you? Another cool idea is that you can, if you get just plain clay pieces, if you have just white, if you use your alcohol marker or your distress inks, you can color them to match whatever you're making.
Neat.
Yeah. For those of you who like everything to coordinate.
Somebody said they wanted their North Dakota stamps for Christmas gifts, but I don't think we're that fast.
We're not that fast, but we could be, you know.
We could be close.
Yeah.
Christmas
maybe
in January?
There you go. There you go. Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Well, then you need to leave us lots of inspiration for things that you would like to included on a North Dakota stamp. Like, what are things that are unique to North Dakota? Like, are there songs about it? Are there, like, song lyrics? Or are there, is there a food item that's unique to North Dakota? I don't know.
Buffalo, bison.
There you go.
Today
There you
we have
go.
a buffalo running around downtown Fargo, or in Fargo. They had this morning.
Get out, really?
Really?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. Or a moose. A moose was running around. Moose was running around Fargo.
Let's see. So my sister and I, we are originally from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and that's where we're headed. We can hardly wait. But there's, so our family, my mom and dad, here's an interesting fun fact. They've known each other their entire lives. They both grew up on this little island called Sugar Island. And both, you know, we're like Sugar Island royalty, if there was such a thing. Ay, ay. Because we have Sugar Island on both sides. And it's just the most beautiful place. It's just the most beautiful, beautiful place. God's country, as my cousin says. Although I will just tell you, everybody thinks that wherever they're from is God's country. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. A couple more. Oh, look at that poor snowflake. Only had 5. I think we should move that one. Yeah, we should get rid of that one. And put one that has all of its little spokes. Yes.
Somebody posted funeral hot dish, but I don't think you want the funeral on there. Good going, Carolyn. Nefla soup.
Oh, what's that? What's in it?
I don't know.
Is it like
I'm from Illinois, remember?
Right. I know, but you're still a Midwest girl.
Lefse. I think Lefse was in our Minnesota one.
It was. Yeah. Yep. It was. So you just have to tell me lots of North Dakota stuff. I don't know, like is there a saying that you only say in North Dakota? I'm thinking it might be an awful lot like Minnesota. But you know, I don't want to pass judgment on anyone. You just tell me.
And maybe something from the western part of the state that we're not about.
Oh, that's an idea. Putting this black on black, so I don't know how lined up that is, but you know. Okay, so there's card number 2.
This is a good one. Naomi just posted, she just made funeral hot dish. Her son is home on leave and requested it.
Does it have any tater tots in it, Naomi? I had a boyfriend a long, long time ago who was from Bemidji, and he taught me how to make tater tot hot dish.
Oh yes, tater tot hot dish. That's something. Somebody said butter and heavy cream.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Carolyn said oofda.
Yeah.
This is sounding like Minnesota. I never knew the word oofda till I moved here either.
Oh, really?
No.
That's so funny.
Not an Illinois term. I don't know if I can say what Illinois terms are.
Yeah.
They're a little rough.
I know, but they get the point across, don't they?
Do.
Okay, so that's card number 2. Is everyone following along? And feel like they could recreate these, I'm sure. None of them are super hard. Okay, now I have another, this card is another Distress Mini card.
Red River of the North.
Oh, see? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the die that I was looking for. Well, you know, I was trying to pack light. Okay, so for this card, we're going to create this really pretty... I hope this can be replaced. Sorry, Kay. It's got stuff all over it.
Okay, funeral hot dish is frozen hash browns, cheese and sour cream, topped with butter-soaked cornflakes, baked goodness.
Shut up.
Oh.
How could you go wrong with that?
Can I take a nap now?
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so we're going to do this weathered wood, like kind of a... I thought this was kind of a country Christmas kind of look, too.
Keely loves this card. So cute.
Hey, Keels. She's my timekeeper.
Okay.
She's an Illinois girl, too. She's from Gurnee.
You're from Gurnee, Keely? I'm originally from Elgin.
Don't you love that? Don't you love that the internet just kind of creates this big artsy community that we all have some kind of a connection to?
Okay, so somebody else's funeral hot dish is corn, tomato soup, tomatoes, elbow macaroni, hamburger, and onions.
That would be delicious, too.
I'm getting hungry for lunch.
I know it. I know it. Okay, so I'm going to use hickory smoke this time. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take the... Oh, do you see the dog hair on there? That's nice. You're going to take kind of the edge of your ink pad, and you're just going to kind of push and direct. Do you see? Like push and kind of pull it across. And then I like to flip. Remember, your paper's not glued down to your table, so you can move it. So you have the most comfortable place to make your art from. So then you're going to do the same. You're going to push and pull. And there, do you see that? We've created one slat. So you're just going to use right here, right the edge of your ink pad. And we're going to, so we don't want it to be exactly the same, right? So we're going to maybe start right here and pull across. And then turn and pull across from here, right? And then, oh, let's do one from this side. So we're going to start here. Am I still in screen? I don't know.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You are.
We could go almost all the way across.
Keely wants to know what color ink that is.
Hickory Smoke. Can I tell you, you know what? I didn't always love the minis because me, like the rest of the world, hated that the lids popped off all the time. But I did invest in those little tins because, yes, Tim Holtz is hurting for money, and I just had to give him some more. But you know what? They work like a charm, and so you know what?
He's so cool.
He's a smart guy. So, I mean, there's so many things that you can do with mini. Oh, and don't think that I deny myself any cuteness. I have all the full-size ones, too. But there are lots of cool techniques that you can do with minis. I kind of dig that.
That is so cool.
Right? And then I'll get my trusty travel craft mat here. I'm fine. Okay, I'm going to put some ink down on my Ziploc bag. And now I'm going to get that wet because look at, now we have watercolor, right? Because any water soluble medium can be made into watercolor. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to make a little bit more divider, right? And then I'm going to do my nails, right? So I find that I like to do these twice, like I do one, like I go over it once, go all the way to the bottom, and then I come back and do the top again. So I just have a little bit more definition. I also like to do the line right here between the boards. Right?
That's incredible.
I know, and so simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
So simple. I'm gonna do the dot for the boards.
I could see using that to make a piece of scrapbook paper too.
Right? And in any color. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because think about how many scrapbook papers there are that are colors of wood, right? Mm-hmm. So what if you were doing a baby boy scrapbook page, but it was kind of a country page? You could do broken china or like
weathered
that.
Wood.
Weathered wood, exactly. See why I had to buy that dang tin to store all those stinking Tim Holtz. Making me buy all his artsy goodness. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. And do you see, because it's so imperfect, you can let go of all of your OCD tendencies because it's old weathered wood, right?
Others don't have that, do they?
Some people do. I know that's hard to imagine, Kay, but some people, not me, some people like to measure things. Some people like symmetry. But these are old weathered barn wood slats, right? Okay. So we did that, and now we're going to do the rest of the nails, right?
Prairie dog came up as one.
Oh, you know what?
Shelter belts, row of trees.
Oh, that's a good, we call that
peace gardens.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's the Peace Gardens?
Up north.
Oh, all right.
Beautiful place. International Peace Gardens.
Ooh, I'll have to look at that. Teddy Roosevelt National Park too, right? Isn't that the national park that's in? I always try to keep.
Yes.
I always try to include a national park in everything. We should be so proud. You know, we have these lovely natural wonders in our country.
Connie's loving this wood technique.
It's so cool, right?
It is.
Okay, so I'm down to the bottom, and now I'm going to make my ink a little more concentrated this time, not quite as watery. So I'm going to wet my brush and tap it off, and then I'm going to get just a little bit of water because now I really want those nails to show, right? And we could do like a skinny line because you know it's going to fade anyway. Right? But it's just going to give like a little dimension. And you could get really artsy and just kind of have it start and stop. Like a bad gel pen. Kind of skip. There we go. Little darken on there. Isn't it crazy how, I mean, it just kind of takes on this, its own, like you start to see, I know it's just a card front, but you do start to like, oh, how can I make that a deeper, like a little deeper dimension, right? And if you,
Ink, paper, and a ink pad and a brush.
I know, it's super easy, right? And you could do it for Easter. You could do shades of purple, or you could do, I don't know. This like a country wedding. That would be kind of pretty, wouldn't it? With some flowers on it.
Well, I'm thinking of like our tractor die cuts that we have.
Oh my gosh, that would be darling and perfect, right? So you could do it in red. You could do it in barn door, or you could do it. This festive berries, I have to say, kind of digging it. And, you know, he does have so many good colors. I hate his guts for that, but, you know, I was looking at, I do have the Tim Holtz app, because, yeah, I'm nuts. So I was looking at Kay's choices out there.
We have every one of his colors.
Right? And I love that I can use them in many ways, right? I could do the stamp technique. I could have stamped my stamp with it. I can paint with it. I can drag it like this, or I could do the color block one that I did. I mean, that's the beauty of water-based mediums, I think, that you can continue to, you know, use it in many ways, right? And you know, I have this theory that if you teach if you teach Amanda Fish, if you teach a crafter a technique, they can take that to the bank. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside because we're going to create this. So this is from the Greetings from Minnesota stamp set. So if you already have it, you can do this. So I know this is nuts, but I colored 8 coffee cups with Minnesota on there. And I just used red and green, but you could do whatever you want. So I'm just going to, I colored the band and the Minnesota. And I just kind of alternated back and forth. And I'm carrying this in a bag, my colored pencils in a bag that I bought last year at Kay's store. You know.
What are your favorite colored pencils?
If it's Prismas, it's so funny because I was just telling Christina yesterday on the phone. My favorite color my favorite brand or my favorite colors?
Brand.
Prismacolors, I think. You know what? And I will tell you that I graduated art school in 1988. And my Prismacolors, I still have the same base set of Prismacolors that I got in art school. And as I use a color up, then I just buy a new one. I like them because they're very blendy and the colors are vibrant when I want them to be vibrant, and they are muted when I want them to be muted. They are, and like I said, you can use whatever you have available to you. If you can only afford Crayolas, then use those. You're just going to have to work harder. You're going to have to work harder at making that work for you. But it's worth the investment, especially if you find a place that sells them either in a set or open stock. If it's open stock, then, you know, start with some colors and then make yourself a chart at home. And then, but I will tell you, Sandy Allnock does have a Prismacolor hex chart. And, you know, I love me some Sandy Allnock. She's a brilliant woman. And it's like $5 or $6, and it has every color on it. And so you just color in when you get that color. And that's a way to have fun and grow with them, because, you know, you might start out with, I would certainly start out with Roy G. Biv, you know. I would start out with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. But then I would just grow it. Like, my favorite color of all of the Prismas is lime peel. It's my favorite. It comes with me everywhere. Look, it's right here. You never know when I might need that. You never know. I might have something to color at some point in my day.
Yeah, we have the Prisma.
They're the best. They're the best. And I'll tell you why. Because they're wax based. So the blendability, 1, 2, 3. Counting how many Minnesotas I need to color red. The blendability is second to none because they're wax based. Because of that, they blend super well. This set is a set from Faber-Castell. It's the more economical set. I'm always looking for things to recommend to people that are more economical, because I know everybody can't afford, you know, polychromos or something. But like the sets that Kay has, the sets of Prismacolors, those are the bomb diggity. You would be so happy with those. And remember, so I'm doing my coloring blend where I just do a light color of colored pencil down, and then I'm just going to do that circly blend, right? I just love these little coffee cups. They're so fun. Okay, now we need to color our Minnesotas. If I were at home, I might take a little more time with my coloring. I might take my red and color a little deeper on the edges, because that's gonna kind of give us some dimension, right? And then I'm just gonna come back in here right at the edge, then do my circle blend and drag that out, right? Then here, I might do the same. and then do my circle blend. Same here. Because this is just going to give your cups of coffee just a little bit more dimension. Right? Kay has these fancy lights. I can really see what I'm doing. It's not like sitting at my kitchen table.
That's Dan's doing.
Well, I knew I liked that guy.
We have all kinds of great ideas.
Oh, I'm
for
so
our
glad.
North Dakota. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I can't wait to, I'll read them all in the car today. So I'm going to share this Facebook Live onto Kay's page today. It might take me all the way to Wisconsin to figure out how to do that because I'm not technically savvy. But, you know, between my sister and I, we might be able to figure it out. And God bless Google, because that does teach me how to do all kinds of things. Do you see this? I can't stop. I get started on this coloring jag and I can't stop. And then I just cut them all out. Oh, so I stamped this, and I believe this is from the other set too. And then I just colored in Minnesota with my colored pencils, the downstrokes of my scripty Minnesota. And then I just cut this, and you see I did the same thing here with the little banner, and I snipped the end. I also used that same stitched rectangle, the same stitched rectangle die from, I think it was from My Favorite Things. And I also, so I started with, when I laid them out, I did the, you can pick whatever, if you want red or green at the top, but I picked the top, the bottom, and the two sides, and I laid them down. And you can, you know, you can fiddle with this before you peel off your pop dots. But, and then I filled in with the greens. And so the greens are like overlap the reds, or vice versa, however you want it to be. But then I kind of got a nice, I thought it looked kind of like a country wreath. So does everybody kind of get that idea? So these are popped, and this is just flat. Unless you want to watch me cut them all out. But, and we could do that. But, you know, that's going to take away time from some other activity that I might have planned here, like shopping and taking you for a tour around the store. Okay, last card. And this, I'm telling you, this trick my team and I came up with, and I think it's brilliant. So you just stamp your stamp with black ink onto craft cardstock. I did this when I did Kathy's card for Chicago. For Colorado, I need a little, wait a second, Diet Coke break. Wait 1 second.
And while you're having a break, Sharon Loskin says hello, Ann.
Hey Sharon, how are you? Okay. Okay, so we're just going to, so I just die cut a rectangle out of the top. So I die cut the whole piece with that same die. I just like a die that works for a million different applications. And the stitched edge does just kind of finish off a card, doesn't it? Like any kind of edging die, I feel like it just kind of adds those finishing touches. So I die cut the edge with my big, I think it was the biggest of the rectangle set. I stamped it with black, and then do you see, here, this is the raw form. So I die cut a rectangle out of the upper left corner, and then I die cut a little rectangle and stamped Merry Christmas from, and then I'm going to mount it on foam tape in the corner. So then it has a little dimension. So what I did was I just started to highlight things, right? So, like Babe the Blue Ox, hence the word blue. So we're going to color Babe the Blue Ox blue. So we're just going to spot color. So this could be, again, you could, this would be an easy card to replicate for a Christmas card because you're just spot coloring. But those spots are really all the things that are indicative of the state, right? So Babe, and then Paul Bunyan's hat, I did in red. And I just color with that same circular blend, so then there's not pencil lines if you blend with circle, circle, circle. Oh, the that beautiful pine tree right here. Even though it's black, we're gonna just go over it with our pencil. And then we just have a little, it's kind of cool because do you see how it just kind of creates like a little, it's almost two-tone because the black kind of shows through from the back. Twins baseball. I had to be super careful with our, with my, what do you call it? Copyrighted teams. So we were very creative. So they can't say anything because that's my handwriting with the twins, right? So we're gonna just do a little bit of white pencil for the baseball. And then what else did I do? Oh, I colored the moose brown.
I've decided you could go on Jeopardy and win if they had a Jeopardy for state information.
I'm telling you, can I tell you, it's so cool. I was telling my sister, I'm sure I was boring my sister, but she was a captive audience in the car yesterday, so whatever. I was telling her, I go, do you know how many states have the same state bird? Many states have the same state bird, and it's all the cardinal or the robin. And she's like, oh, really? And same state flower. That kind of happens a lot. That's kind of interesting. Apple blossom.
That surprises me.
I know. It is. It is interesting. And do you know what I found out about Delaware yesterday? I'm sure everyone's dying to know.
The $100 question.
Yes, exactly. Delaware state flower is the peach blossom. Would you think about peaches from Delaware?
No.
No, you would not. But guess what?
Georgia.
Exactly. But the first peaches, like they were like one of the first, like the #1 peach producer.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Crazy. Okay, so here's Kay and I get away with the Vikings because look at this. The Minnesota Vikings football team does not have this kind of a Viking helmet. But if we color it purple and gold, then it's looking very Minnesota Vikings football team. Right? So we'll just color the horns. And then I think I tried to do like not the circles. We could go around those. The loon, I was an idiot when I first started coloring. This is my third one because I was trying to color all those little circles that whatever. So now I'm just going to kind of lightly go over it with my white pencil. Right? So I'm just kind of giving the illusion, but I did that little triangle-y thing that's on their neck. I did that, and then I did his beak. He or she, I don't know which ones are mostly in nature. The pretty ones are the boys. There we go. Oh, and gray for the Timberwolves. Right? All right. I wonder do you think Paul Bunyan's beard would be white? Would it be brown or black? I don't know. We could color it a little bit white here. kind of like that better, so let's do it on this one too. Although he might look a little Santa-ish if we do it that way. Oh well, if you're from Minnesota, you understand. Okay, so now we'll assemble this one. Super, super easy. Another black card base. I mean, think about that. That's like just adds a little something, something too, you know. And you know, if you're a card maker extraordinaire and these are like completely simple ideas, don't tell me. I already know. I'm just, you know. Don't humiliate the novice. All right. You probably have done these techniques a million times, but...
Refresher courses always.
Right. So I'm going to stick that little piece of tape up in the corner. So, like I said, I just die cut that rectangle out. And that is just going to just add a little bit of interest. And that's kind of what we're always looking for, right? Like just little touches of interest. This one is going to be, oh, came off easy. Okay, so we're going to kind of center this. I hope I'm kind of in the frame still. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take
Move up a little bit down.
this way, this way,
Yep.
this way,
Mm-hmm.
back down.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to take the Merry Christmas that I die cut, and I die cut it with the smallest stitched, and I think that's just gonna, again, just add a little something, something. So I'm a complete cheapskate, so do you see all this wasted foam up here? I'm not gonna use one of Kay's brand new circles. I'm always thrifty with other people's stuff. But we could do a whole foam circle right there, right? So we just want to pop the Merry Christmas and center it there. And then down in this corner, remember I talked about visual triangles. We're going to take some black clay hearts, not because I have a black heart, just because I like them. And remember, all art has a little bit of black and a little bit of white. We're just going to do 3 because we want to always do increments of 3 or odd numbers because I'm odd. That's all right. Kind of pride myself in it now.
I love the coffee cups. I think they're just cute.
Oh, I do too.
Renee, she thinks they're just, they are.
We did have a fun making them, didn't we, Kay?
Mhm.
We did, we did. We were a very good team.
We went back and forth.
We
and back
did.
and forth
What do you
and
think of
back.
this? What do you think of
Think of
that?
that.
What do you think of this? What do you think of that? I think people don't realize how much kind of thought and, you know, goes into all those things. It is a labor of love. I love the United States. Okay, so there we go. Here's the one I just made. Here's the one I pre-made. I hope that that inspires you. Another cool thing that you can do with just stamping on craft with black is you can just highlight with your white gel pen, and that's going to really, it'll just totally pop everything. So I think that's all I have. Does anybody have anything they want to know, or I'll just start cutting stuff up while we're talking, unless everybody's done. You let me know.
Comments.
Not one single comment. Really, Keely Reeves, you have nothing to say to me. Connie Aiello. All right. Well, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to sign off here, and then I'm going to come back on and do a little tour of Kay's store, and then you'll probably see what I buy because as I'm doing the tour, I'm going to be shopping too. Support your local stores. If we don't support our local stores, they will go away. And come on, I won't have a place to go on my trips across the United States. Shop local. And thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you that takes time out of your busy day to make art with me. Okay, I'll be back in a couple seconds and we will take a tour of Kay's store. Bye, girls. I adore you.